latest injury victim in the Parkhead camp. That's Dom Sullivan, who was taken off early on Tannadice last week in a match which Celtic lost 3-0. And his replacement is 17-year-old Paul McStay, who faces the possibility of a fairy tale ending to his first season as a pro, sharing in a league championship triumph. And that's something so many experienced international players have never enjoyed. And St Mirren make two changes from the side which lost 2-0 to Aberdeen in midweek. Bone and McEachran are out, and McDougall and Sumner are in. But the man entrusted with the prime responsibility for keeping Celtic at bay is international goalkeeper Billy Thompson, who may feel a little shell-shocked after his club's late slump in form. And with the World Cup beckoning, he has to ensure that his place as reserve to Alan Rough is re-established. So a huge roar around Celtic Park, one of the biggest crowds of the season for the end to the season, and that's conditions which are absolutely ideally suited for such an occasion. Celtic manager Billy McNeill checking his watch, as has referee Eddie Pringle, and the match is underway. So Aitken being greeted with a special cheer of his own as he plays that out for St Mirren's throw. So Celtic, after two consecutive league matches in which they failed to score, that's something of a record. Now looking for the goals which will clinch the league championship without having to wait for the result from Pittodrie. St Mirren two on a bad run. They've lost 3 matches in the trot, 2 of them against Aberdeen and 1 against Rangers at Ibrox 10 days ago. There's Tommy Burns. Provan feeding McGrain. Burns playing that forward, but Fulton is able to prevent the corner kick. There's Crenny. Ball breaking now for McStay. McCluskey trying to turn. That's Copeland covering him. Aiken returning it. Flag stays down, but Walker getting there first. Crenny again. Bringing it across, McCluskey with a snapshot under intense pressure from Alex Beckett in particular, and the St Mirren goal survives. Celtic crowd already in full voice. They've been singing for long periods before the match started, starting celebrations early for what they obviously anticipate will be a second league triumph in succession. And here's Burns. A roar of anticipation. That's for Crenny. Excellent goalkeeping by Billy Thompson. For Crenny it was, carrying the threat going through the middle, and that pass from Burns. But Thompson coming out, and that'll do his confidence no harm at all. Coulton again, staying very close to Crenny in the early stages. And McCluskey holding off Walker. Good recovery tackle though, and McGrain pulled down by Richardson. A late tackle giving the free kick to Celtic. McGrain none the worse. So a quick free kick to Provan. Taking out Walker for the dead ball line. Headed away from Fulton. Again, Fulton spins straight to Burns. Provan immediately going wide to make a target for Burns. McGrain stumble, letting McAvenny in. Now McStay. Dummy from McGrain. There's Crenny. Thompson has committed himself. And again, another piece of good goalkeeping from Billy Thompson. Ball breaking for McLeod. Now Crenny on the break. Looking for McCluskey. Oh, Thompson, perhaps a shade lucky there. Always anticipating that McCluskey might get a touch, using his legs, and the break of the ball falling for him. Excellent break in the left though. Crenny using his pace to go clear of the St Mirren defence in the left. The early cross looking for McCluskey. And then that ricochet from the legs of Thompson. Now Richardson. Stark has found some space on the right. That's a good turn by McDougall. And the goalkeeping of Pat Bonner matching that of his opposite number, Billy Thompson. So Bonner called into action for the first time. A great turn that from McDougall, the dummy sending the Celtic defence on the wrong foot, and the shot blocked by Bonner. Unlucky ball for McDougall. There's McStay. Headed away by Dave Walker. Very cool play from. Well, misjudged that by Provan, with Walker coming in very quickly to try to stifle the danger. McStay's tackle. Provan now to McGrain. That could Craney turn. Taking on Copeland. Headed away by Beckett. McCluskey off the post. And eventually scrambled clear from Danny Craney. Well, all-out hectic action in that St Mirren goalmouth. Craney first of all causing trouble with a very good turn to get away from Copeland to play it across the face of the goal. Beckett cleared it. It was thumped in against the post. Now Roy Aitken. That was always rising, and the St Mirren defence will welcome that respite. Aitken coming out strongly. Now McLeod to McStay. Provan going to the right. Trying to shake off Walker. Beautifully chipped ball. And Craney taking it away from Murdo McLeod. Well, the youngster wouldn't have known it, I don't think, unless McLeod called, and that might not have been heard in this racket around Celtic Park. Provan doing well to get away from Walker to the byline. The cross would certainly have left McLeod with a very easy chance, but Craney, stretching his neck muscles, just knocked the ball away from him. Sumner. McDougall waiting in the middle. That's for McDougall. No one else in the box for St Mirren. Copeland. Giving his head flick as McAdam in trouble. There's McDougall again with Aitken. And McAdam restoring order after his initial mistake. Heading it back to Bonner. State was a drop back to replace McAdam. And McCluskey carrying the ball out. His head flick swept forward by Adam. So a late push for an opening goal before half-time by Celtic. Here's Provan. That's a great effort. Well, what a tremendous finish to the first half. Billy Thompson at his very best. Provan popping up on the left, turning on that ball on the left flank, cutting inside, and that dipping, driven shot, bringing out the best in Billy Thompson. So still Celtic coming forward through Burns. Provan again, buzz of anticipation. Walker first to the ball. Thumping that off Paul McStay. The half-time whistle goes, Celtic 0, St Mirren 0, and there's the hero of the first half. The St Mirren goalkeeper, Billy Thompson. Well, he started the game in splendid fashion as Celtic appeared likely to overwhelm his teammates. But nothing was better than that save just before half-time from Davy Provan. Provan whirling on the ball out on the left, letting fly with his right foot, the ball going with tremendous power, dipping in goal. Thompson touching it over the top to keep the St Mirren goal intact. So, no goals in the first half. Well, a lot of excitement early on, but St Mirren coming back into the match, and Celtic still have a great deal to do. Welcome back to Celtic Park, which is absolutely alive with the half-time news from Pittodrie and the Celtic supporters who greeted the result with a kind of stunned silence initially, now providing terrific support for the team, and that's Danny Crenny trying very hard to ease a lot of the club's worries going through the middle. Adams header. McLeod now to Burns. Celtic depending so much on the creative skills of this young man. That's forward for McLeod. And Thompson again rescues St Mirren. Well, a pass full of invention and imagination from Burns, giving McLeod that shooting chance, and Thompson again forced to bring out a great save. Stay having that taken away from him by Aiken. Kenny off and the run again on the flank. It's Fulton with him. Now Provan. Danger here for St Mirren, and that's a great piece of play out on the right by Kenny and Provan, but it's only won a corner kick. Quickly taken. And Thompson beating that behind for the corner kick again. It was McLeod who was providing the challenge. So McAdam this time at the near post. Aiken also is in the box. Robin with the kick. Away by Copeland. McAvenny now a long run to relieve his defence. He's got McDougall up in support. Might have been better to leave that to Fitzpatrick. Fulton getting in front of Crenny. Robin. That's a good turn. Well, that wasn't far away from the head of Billy Stark. I'm no doubt he tried to hit it for the corner, but very close to that top corner. So McAdam's in the box. Alongside him, Roy Aiken. Corbin fighting it in. Fitzpatrick's clearance. McAvenny the only man up. Play by McStay. Corbin is onside. No, the referee is giving the offside decision himself. No, I think he's giving that against Danny Crenny rather than Davy Provan. The Celtic supporters and players unhappy. Billy McNeil coming out of the dugout there in disgust at that decision. That's McStay challenging fiercely for such a young man. Provan off on his own through the middle. Now McCluskey leaving it to McLeod. And the man remaining cool in the heart of that defence was Jackie Copeland. Timing the tackle perfectly. Provan, the man who caused all the trouble with that searing run through the middle, takes the corner kick. Roy Aiken this time on the foot on the near post. Paul McStay looking for Aiken. Thompson in trouble. No free kick, says the referee. And this time Thompson taking it very cleanly and asking a question of the referee about the first challenge by Aiken. These crosses by Davy Provan causing constant menace for the St Mirren defence, but so far they've stood up to the task very well. Billy Stark playing it back. Back to Fitzpatrick, and he's caught out by McLeod. Finney wants it out on the right. He's in for Burns, now McCluskey. Oh, that's a great goal from Celtic. George McCluskey. And the Celtic bench coming out to join in the celebrations. That takes a great deal of the strain off. And what a marvellous goal it was. Created on the left. Beautiful piece of football. The build-up was quite superb, involving McLeod and McCluskey and Burns. And eventually it was George McCluskey striking it into the far post. Sumner playing it wide, giving Stark the chance for the cross. Bacon's clearance, he took a bad face knock from Sumner there. Play goes on to the other end. Penny is onside this time. Copeland getting back in a hurry. Penny taking him on. And great cover from Alec Beckett. But before anything happens, Roy Aitken will get some treatment. He's never got up since making that headed clearance in the Celtic box. His head clashed with Doug Sumner's. But Aitken now back in his feet. So David Provan lining up the corner kick for Celtic. McAdam got a free header. Now his goal is given. Yes, the goal is given. Walker cleared it off the line, but McAdam is congratulated. The referee racing to the centre circle. So Tom McAdam, with 27.5 minutes of the second half gone, makes it 2-0 to Celtic, and that surely puts the championship beyond doubt. Well, it was a good corner kick from Provan. Fiercely driven across the face of the goal. McAdam got to it. The St Mirren defender appeared to get in the way of Billy Thompson. And although it was hooked off the line, or just nearly off the line by Dave Walker, the referee right on the spot gave a goal. His header falling straight to Billy Stark. There's a chance for McAvenny. Fine goalkeeping by Pat Bonner. Well, that's a dangerous ball played in by Stark. Very dangerous indeed for the Celtic defence, and it was Bonner who reacted best of all as McAvenny came in very quickly. Logan bowled over by Reid. Second free kick. Aitken waving McLeod aside. Now using him inside. Coleman out to the right. Stay in close support if Provan wants to use him. There he is now. Left foot shot. And Paul McStay almost adding to the only goal he scored so far in the league match at Pittodrie back in January. His only goal in the first team. A memorable one that was, and that would have been one to match. Going through in Provan's pass. Heading out with the left foot and just going wide of Thompson's right hand post. Lovely touch again from Burns. Now McCluskey. And that really clinches it all. Great move again from Celtic. And well might McCluskey celebrate. And now it's a procession. The man who started it all that time was Tommy Burns. Great piece of play going forward. The pass to McCluskey was perfection. And so was the finish, leaving Thompson completely helpless. Stay getting back very quickly. Low get out on the right. Start touching it on. There's McAvenny. And Bonner happy to show his ability. McAvenny deserves something for the tremendous effort he's put into the game this afternoon. David Provan. finding its way into McAvenny. And good goalkeeping again from Bonner. Logan not quite fastening onto the rebound as Aiken was there first. But there's Frank McAvenny still battling hard up front for St Mirren. Saw that shooting chance, let fly a lot of power. And Bonner got down well to it. Craney coming across to help. Robin keeping that in. Ball's behind now for the goal kick to St Mirren as we go into time added on for injuries. The whistle will go any second. Celtic manager Billy McNeil knows that. The chase for McAvenny. Ball is out and the referee checking with his linesman. That's the man who has all the eyes on him for the moment, the referee Eddie Pringle. And there it is, the final whistle. Manager Billy McNeil accepts the congratulations, first of all, of Ricky McFarlane, the St Mirren manager. But that excellent second half performance, allowing Celtic to finish as they would have wished to in style as the champions for season 1981-82. And now the celebrations begin in earnest. Danny Craney greeting the supporters. Now the supporters are not really being welcomed onto the field. There are 39,600 people inside Celtic Park. The vast majority wearing the green and white favours. And it's a memorable afternoon for them. Anxiety for a moment at half-time when the score came through from Pittodrie. But Celtic answered all the questions themselves with that second half performance. Two excellent goals from George McCluskey. A fine header from Tom McAdam. And there's no doubt at all about it, Celtic have won the championship in style.